before I get into savage mode, I just want you to take a quick, good look at these pictures that these, I guess, the family posted, right? Does this child look happy? I had her laughing, but it didn't last long. He put all smiles. And look in that middle picture specifically. Doesn't she look traumatized? While this guy here is smiling, he's putting on a fake smile. To me, this shows that they wanted all this attention, even though they put her in this situation. And think about it now. Think about this whole situation that's going on now, right? The kid's missing. Mom's on TV crying. Most of the people that are dumb feel bad for her. She lied to the cops. She lied about the abuse. She lied to the police, to the hospital, to CPS. She also lied about the fact, and think about this, that he had Clorox, and he was cleaning, just crazy cleaning, something that this guy never does apparently. Cleaning the house, cleaning. He even bought an extra bottle of Clorox. She knew about this for all these days? And she's just saying that now? I mean, you're kind of looking like an accessory to me. I mean, forget about all the hundreds of people that were searching for your daughter that you completely just spit in their face because you decided to lie. The police you had searching, all the resources, when you could have been honest and they could have done a search first in the home. They could have inspected, could have done forensics, which I heard now today they're doing forensics. You're looking like an accessory to me. People are starting to realize the stepfather, and now the biological father is coming into question, and they're on the spotlight again. They're getting sympathy. And the only person that needs sympathy is this little girl. That's it. Because these people are such trashy human filth. This is the real victim. That's the real victim you need to be worrying about. And it's a little telling, too, that with the CPS, here's another case to make for the biological father. Because I'm starting to look at him sideways, too. Your child was taken from the custody of this mother and this stepfather, or whatever the hell he is. Why didn't you take that child? I'm pretty sure CPS would have offered you that custody. Why didn't you take that child? See, there's a lot of things we don't know about this. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And they never once offered you custody? That's something to think about too. And the biological father. How many times does your daughter have to go to the hospital and you're taking pictures with her in the hospital and think like, I don't know, this seems kind of normal. I guess everything's okay. These selfish people going through their own drama. This is like a love and hip hop thing now with the mother or the guy had some pictures of sending pictures to a guy and also some sort of love and hip hop thing now. And she wanted to divorce him. She didn't have a problem with this child was in the hospital getting surgery, getting beat, the skull's half open. You didn't have a problem with that, but you have a problem when this guy's sending some sort of nude picture to a guy. Oh, that's where everything stops. That's crossing the line. Yo, what's up? It's Mel. And you know I've been covering the Maleh Davis case. And I found these pictures on Twitter posted by Savage Girl. I'm so bothered by seeing this. I'm blown away. Savage Girl said, before anyone tries to feel sorry for the mother and the stepfather, which is what I've been saying this whole time, a lot of these news media organizations aren't talking about the weird stuff about the mother. If you haven't seen the last video I posted, you should check it out. Where their mother admits to knowing that there's some type of abuse going on in that house. She lied about it. You know, she lied to the CPS. She lied to the doctors. Okay. For a week, the 6 days, 7 now almost, that her daughter was missing, she knew about all this information. The fact that he had Clorox, that he was cleaning the house really weirdly, 2 things of Clorox. If you're so concerned for your daughter, why would you lie to the cops? You know? I'm not saying I think she expected the outcome to she could possibly be dead. I'm thinking that this mother's been covering up for this guy. So before you go feeling sorry for this mother and stepfather, like Savage Girl here says, this is the real victim. That's the real victim you need to be worrying about. They both need to be charged. Both need to be locked up. I mean, look at that, yo. This is like some sort of Instagram post, all smiles. I mean, yo, I don't know. And I almost wonder about this father too, because I feel really bad for the biological father, but he didn't question this stuff. Is this from surgery? I mean, why her eyes shut? Maybe this is from surgery. I don't know. But this is all, look at the surgery that was done to her because of the fall from the chair that the mother had to be lying about. I mean, you can't feel sorry for these people, man. You cannot feel sorry for disgusting people like this. Filth, yo. A lot of things don't add up in this story. There's a lot we don't know about. That's what I can tell you. Any parent that cares about their child, if CPS has temporary custody and they tell you you need to go to these parenting classes and you don't show up, that shows you don't care. That's what that tells me. There was another hearing coming up, May 20-something. Now she's missing before that hearing. You know, that mother coming out and talking about and putting the accusations on this stepdad, which he's a horrible person. He's trash. But the fact that it took 6 days, 7 days, it tells me, are you trying to save face now because you know that they're going to come in on you? That the feds are going to come locking down on you? I'm just so like, just filth. That's all I can say about these people. Filth and disgusting, yo. That's all I can say. Before we get to the next part and I break it down a little bit more, there were some news reports today too when she spoke. Well, she didn't speak because she's a coward. She had some other guy speak, some sort of activist or whatever. She's a coward in every literal term of the way, by the way, to abandon your child. There was a report saying that the child was being sexually abused, and I guess you were okay with that until he started texting men pictures. You didn't have a problem before. Lying to the people, oh, she fell down, oh, she cracked her skull because she fell from the chair by herself. You didn't have a problem with that. Oh, it was fine. You didn't have a problem when your daughter was missing for 6-7 days. Oh, you didn't have a problem with that. Oh, it's okay. Bro, you might fool a lot of these other media organizations with this BS. I don't buy it one bit, and it's coming out. It's coming out. And it's a little telling, too, that with the CPS, here's another case to make for the biological father, because I'm starting to look at him sideways, too. Your child was taken from the custody of this mother and this stepfather, or whatever the hell he is. Why didn't you take that child? I'm pretty sure CPS would have offered you that custody. Why didn't you take that child? See, there's a lot of things we don't know about this. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And they never once offered you custody? That's something to think about too. I mean, it's all over the internet. Headlines, right? Mother denies abuse. All of a sudden today, she admits abuse. You lied, right? I'm going to read one more part just to let it sink in and off the video. Bowens on Tuesday disputed the allegations, because that's so crazy, which is what I said in the first video, that her daughter was physically abused at home, and gave her account to the injury. Bowen said she took her daughter to West Houston Medical Center last July because she was lethargic, which usually is probably part of head trauma, one of the first symptoms for children. Bowen said she took her daughter to the hospital. She was lethargic. Weeks later, Maleah fell while she was sitting. Fell while she was eating by herself. She fell and had this head trauma that she has to have 3 surgeries, remove her skull, everything, right? When she falls, she came around to the couch and she had a deep gash on her head and freaked me out. Bowen said, again, they rushed the daughter to the hospital. Doctors discharged Maleah without performing a CT scan. Why would doctors not perform a CT scan? That's a failure in the hospital too. Somebody needs to sue that hospital. How many times do you have to come in with lethargic symptoms? You literally have a gash on the head. What kind of retarded hospital wouldn't run a basic CT scan? Or maybe it's a hospital that maybe these people didn't have good insurance, because trust me, they check your insurance, and they're like, oh yeah, just go. You're not worth the cost. That's a whole nother topic. 5 days later, Maleah suffered a seizure. Bowen said sobbing. Maleah was taken to the hospital. They did a CT scan, and that's when they told her she was bleeding on the left hand side of her brain. At this point, it was a life or death situation. Doctors operated and said a few days later, Child Protective Services arrived at the home. They didn't find anything, Bowen said, because we're not those kind of people. Well, I guess you're the type of person that's okay with watching your daughter go through that. And the biological father, how many times does your daughter have to go to the hospital and you're taking pictures with her in the hospital and think like, I don't know, this seems kind of normal. I guess everything's okay. I mean, there's so many failures and falls throughout this whole thing. It's mind-boggling, shocking. And the fact that CPS sent this child back to these people. Shocking. Let that sink in. I am so blown away by this case, yo. I am just like, oh my God, bro. This is just like, there's no humanity, no empathy. I am so blown away that these selfish people going through their own drama. This is like a love and hip hop thing now with the mother. The guy had some pictures of it, sending pictures to a guy, and also some sort of love and hip hop thing now. And she wants to divorce him. She didn't have a problem with this child was in the hospital getting surgery, getting beat, the skull's half open. You didn't have a problem with that, but you have a problem when this guy's sending some sort of nude picture to a guy. Oh, that's where everything stops. That's crossing the line. Just, I don't know, man. Amazing, bro. Amazing. Amazing. Jesse Lee Peterson would say. Amazing. I don't buy it.
I see potential subscribers. Subscribe for more. This is the motherfucking war.